What's up, guys? Welcome back to Chemical Guys Detail Garage. We are back with the newbie Snook series, with the BMW series, with the live series. We're testing Snook's knowledge on detailing here. So if you watched the last episode, we washed the car, and he did a great job, I think, right, Nick?
Yeah, he's got the basics of detailing down. You know?
Got the skills.
Yeah, he's ready for this as a full-time gig.
Exactly. So I'm gonna back behind the camera so you don't see all the gear and stuff, and you'll just hear me again, and we'll get started with this episode.
Yeah.
So today, we're what are we doing here? What's the next step, Snook?
The next step is we are going to clay the car.
That's right. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Why? Now, why are we claying the car?
We're gonna clay the car because it's almost like a protective coat over your. It's protective.
It's the next step into getting it protected. So what the clay does is it removes the rough feeling, contamination that's in the pores of the paint. And like I was looking earlier, you have little small specks of what could be overspray. The clay is going to remove that because even though it looks smooth after it's washed, if you feel it, it feels kind of rough. So what we're going to use is we have the clay block as well as our medium clay bar. And what this does is it basically glides across the surface, pulling off contamination, giving you that smooth finish. But this is a necessary step if you're going to be polishing the vehicle or if you're going to be applying any kind of coatings, especially ceramic, because you don't want to lock that kind of junk in there. So it's important to clean it thoroughly, and then we can get the car looking its best.
That's right. And after the wash, you know, we brought it inside because you can now see very clearly all of the scratches on the hood here. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm a noob.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you expect?
Exactly.
This needs to happen so I can learn and educate myself.
Exactly.
You get scratches,
and you can see
swirls.
the section that we polished on the live.
All right, just to be fair too, this is a used car. I'm not buying new, so some of these scratches are like previous owner or whatever.
Yeah,
so
those are dealer.
The car thing with the cat, that's me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, these scratches that.
Dealer installed scratches.
Yeah. If you see any paw prints, that's definitely the cat. Okay. And see, so here's something that I noticed, which I don't know. Let me see if I can get this on camera here.
This angle over here, you can see it really good.
Let's see, right there.
Yeah.
So this looks like bird poop to me. Yeah. If you look at it, it looks like it has the remnants of some bird poop, and then it kind of ran off over here. And it very well could be because that, after our wash, is still there.
Yeah.
It has etched itself right into the clear coat.
Exactly, yeah.
Bird poop is acidic, and so it'll burn right through. So if you ever see that on your car, you want to take care of that immediately with a quick detail spray. Or just a full wash.
What are birds eating? Damn, like come on.
They must be going to Chipotle.
You have an X, have a bird, just put bird seed all over it so the birds just fly on their cotton. Is that a turkey? That was a turkey?
That was a turkey.
Same thing, they're a bird family.
So is the Velociraptor.
Velociraptors too, yeah, I love dinosaurs. Anyway. But my car is extinct now, so we're going to a better car, right?
That's right, that's right. I guess we'll get started. I don't know if do you think that'll come out with clay? Probably have to polish that, right?
Yeah, it's most likely not going to come out. It's mostly because bird droppings contain uric acid, and that will start eating away at the clear coat. And also, as the vehicle gets hot, the paint molecules expand, and then things that are on the top layer tend to go underneath, and then they get locked in there.
Oof.
So, chance of it coming science. Chance of it coming out with a clay bar it's possible if it's recent, but it's not likely.
Okay. Yeah, that's something too. Where had this been ceramic coated before, it would have, provided a sacrificial layer on top of your paint. That would have probably got affected by the bird poop, but not your paint.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's another very important reason why you guys should ceramic your car, to protect that paint.
Protect it. It's like sunscreen.
That's right.
A very thick layer of sunscreen.
A very thick.
I mean, I'm Irish. I need all the sunscreen I can get. I mean, I burn, but I'm also half Italian, so the next day, Daddy's like nice and brown.
Yeah, exactly. That beautiful golden crispy brown.
Nice. So yeah, just like before, you're going to spray your clay luber. So your clay block or clay bar glides gently over the surface, and you can't use too much of the luber. This is one of those products that you really can use an excessive amount and not really worry about it. In fact, it's probably better. A lot of our other products you want to savor, I guess is the word. That's not the word I'm looking for, but
be more efficient.
Maximize. Yeah, you want to maximize the distance your product can go, but with clay luber, I mean, the more lube, the better.
Also, a common question we get is it necessary to wash the car after you've used your clay bar or clay block? And not necessarily. All you need to do is simply wipe away the spent product and then continue the detailing process.
That's right. And if you really feel like maybe there's some residue left or something, you can always use a quick detail spray to hit those spots very quickly and wipe it out. We also have wipe out.
It'll remove any kind of body oils, any kind of residue, as well as any remaining layers of glaze, sealant, and wax. This way you can thoroughly inspect your paintwork, because things like that build up in the smaller scratches and it won't give you a true finish because it's blocking out those imperfections. So by cleaning it thoroughly, that's going to be the best way to inspect it, and then you can also get the best results.
Basically, you're going to go back and forth in linear motions, side to side, up and down only, no swirl marks with this process. And with the two different methods here, when Nick's done and he sees that there's a lot of dirt and grime particles on his clay, he'll just refold it into a new section that's clear from all that filth. Whereas Snook over here, if he's using the clay block, so he would actually just wipe that off with a microfiber towel. You could spray that with some luber and wipe it off and just keep going.
Exactly, it's more user-friendly in
There
case
you
you
go.
do drop it, you know?
So I see you're going down, so I'll go down as well.
Yeah, that same linear motions. This way, if we do, say, add some scratches or marring, we can at least follow if we were installing them.
Yeah, so here's an interesting tidbit of knowledge for you, Snook.
Yes.
A single straight line scratch is actually easier to polish out than a swirl mark.
And I get a lot of swirls on this.
Right. I mean, fortunately, your whole entire car is swirl marks, so I think
That
as long
is
as we
true.
as long as we just hit it anywhere with the polisher, it should be
I
fine.
mean, that's what I was
Exactly.
going for when I bought the car. I wanted swirls everywhere to
Yeah.
make it like all sync.
Yeah, you're looking for that.
wanna be
what is
unique.
that piece of art with the? It's like the Van Gogh.
Oh, the
like
Van Gogh with the lady, guy like screaming
yeah,
or
like all the
whatever.
swirls in the freaking
Yeah,
sky.
that's what I was going for. I'm like an Aussie guy, so I'm
Yeah.
like, I want that on my car.
Yeah, basically always linear motions to make sure that in the event you actually do any damage, that it's just a straight line and it's easier to fix. Most things are fixable. So this is not fixable right here, and this is something that someone else, a previous owner of this vehicle, looks like they attempted to potentially polish out some scratches over here, and they went over this ridge line and stayed there for a while and burned right through the paint here. To
Yeah.
you can see the metal. So
That's-
that is just too far gone. So
Yeah, that's my racing stripe now.
perfect.
Because I go so fast, it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we're ready to move on to the
The waxing,
The polishing process.
wax and polish it,
yeah.
polishing it up. Yeah.
So polishing by definition means we're going to rub the surface to make it smooth and glossy. So what we're going to be using today is our TORQ polishers, and I believe we're going to use V36, which is the same polish we used on our live video, and it works really well. We've done a few test spots, and it removes a fair amount of these scratches and swirls, while also enhancing that depth, and it's great for a one-step polish. So this is an easy way and a quick way to just refine the finish and bring out that gloss.
I love it.
Nice. Now, we might upgrade you this time. I think last time, did you use the 10FX?
I think he had the TORQ X.
Oh, really? The TORQ X?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty. It was good.
Yeah.
It was easy. Not so heavy on it, but yeah.
Not
Okay.
so heavy.
I mean, like I was really pushed. I was like, I'm ready, and you really don't gotta go that hard. You're
Yeah,
like, it's
so-
just guiding. it,
Okay, so as a noob yourself here,
Yeah.
this guy, you've done this process in the live video. So do you have any tips that you could give to other newbies out there that might help them out? Like that one you just talked about. You were putting way too much pressure on, right?
Yeah, because it goes so fast, so you think you need to like actually hold and push the pressure into it, but you're just kind of guiding it, and you can actually kind of feel it because it kind of suctions to your car, so it's way easier than it looks.
Cool.
And you don't have to have like muscle like my grandmother. She
Yeah.
was still alive. She
I
could do
mean,
it for
she was
sure.
jacked.
I mean, she was huge.
So I'm gonna do a before on the hood here, just so you guys can see all of those. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, a lot of scratches, Ooh, see how the light catches all those scratches? You can see every little detail on the black cars. And I will try to do the same exact move at the end here once we're done. But essentially, what you're gonna do.
And this is pretty bad for LA, right? LA has great weather and climate, so like this would be different if you're like on the East Coast. You can see all the
Yeah, if you
marks.
had like, drove through hailstorms every 3 days.
Yeah, or like the Midwest
Right.
or whatever. But like LA has perfect weather, so if my car is
But you know what happens. This is
Yeah.
just what happens. If you don't know, and that's okay, because we're here to learn.
Yeah, exactly.
We're here
all
to-
here to learn.
And like we said before, it's fixable, right?
yeah.
The only piece that's not fixable is that burn mark where somebody did it incorrectly. Now, speaking of properly and burning paint and stuff like that, it's pretty difficult to burn paint using one of our orbital polishers. Now, the reason being, that they rotate on 2 different axes.
Oh.
So you have the pad that's spinning in a circular motion, and then you also have the entire head unit that's rotating
Like
as
this?
well. Yes, it's awesome. So that spins exactly like that, and then this piece, the pad here, will oscillate like this. So it doesn't keep the pad in one specific spot the whole time,
Which is good.
rotary polishers do that, and they are absolutely fantastic for getting out scratches and swirls quickly.
Yes, very quickly.
Because they generate so much heat. So if you're not used to it and you're a noob, definitely get one of the TORQ oscillating polishers, because the random orbital action is going to pretty much ensure that you won't mess up your paint as long as you don't stay on one spot. or something.
Rotaries are just like a scalpel, where these are like butter knives. You know, they're more forgiving, but you can still get great results. It just takes a little bit longer.
Exactly.
So you got
So,
your pad on there,
you got your
self-centered
pad.
it already? Nice.
Got the pad on, yep.
Center the
Easy,
pad,
fits.
perfect. And we're using the orange pad today, which is our heavy cutting pad, heavy medium duty cutting pad, I
Yeah,
think is what it's
heavy
called. right?
polishing, medium cutting.
Oh, thank
Yes.
Perfect.
Make sure you got power.
you. Got power. Perfect.
Cool. Nice.
Ooh. We can talk about some air fresheners after.
This is my party trick.
And you're just like, hey, it's me. Like, all right.
And I'm out.
So I need the polished cream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did I put that
Right
on?
here?
And I need glasses as well.
Oh, okay.
That's good to know. I had LASIK, but clearly it doesn't work.
And so what you're using right there is V36. This is our, I guess you would say medium grade.
Yeah, it's a cutting polish, so that means that it can be used as a one-step. It's very fine and it's abrasive, so it's great for moving the moderate to light imperfections, but it also breaks down into a fine polish, so again, it can be used as a one-step. So you're shaking it up, and then we're going to apply 5 dime-sized dots, which is about the size of 1 hex. And then we use our pad conditioner to moisten the pad, just so we're not creating kind of dust, and it also helps to save the pads a little bit.
I need to shake it like a Polaroid picture, or shake it like you're making a martini. Here we go. Now it's like butter. Here we go. Look at that.
There you
Looks
go.
like-
There you go.
Mayo.
Because we're putting on a clinic.
So now we're going to take our pad conditioner, and like I was saying, this is going to moisten the pad. This reduces heat. It also prevents any kind of dusting from the chemical that you're using, but it's going to
Perfect.
save the foam. So this will help you reuse your pads, or at least get the most use out of them.
Perfect.
So just a couple sprays.
That's good. You did that last time.
Yeah,
Like 20 sprays.
generous with it. And then
Now,
you
how long
throw-
do these pads usually last for?
It depends on how often you're using them. So we use these in our SDU as well as on all the videos, and I mean, most of these are probably a year old or so.
Okay.
But with
cool.
proper cleaning and maintenance, you can get a lot of longevity out of these.
Yeah,
so,
they look new.
Yeah, it
That's a
works
great
really well.
question, too.
Yeah, and it came right out of the.
That's
the
good.
blender.
Yeah. So you're gonna do like Nick's doing right now, and kind of blotch out a space
Yeah,
of
it's about
products.
2 foot by 2 foot. I would
Yeah.
recommend throwing that cord over your shoulder just so it's a little easier to
Definitely.
maintain.
See how that
All
could
right,
potentially
like-
slap against
Here we
your
go.
paint here.
Oh, and I know about slapping in paint. Paint slapping.
Paint slap.
Or cord slapping, that's what I just
Cord
said.
slapping, yeah.
Yes.
And
And we'll-
just like the cord, you also don't want to brush up against the car with your leg, because
Well,
that rubbing your jeans on there is definitely going to cause some scratching as well.
I need to just do this like in a man thong or something, so it's just skin on skin or something, because
That's a different show. That's late night
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So after blotching out, we're going to start on the lowest speed setting. All you got to do is switch the analog switch on top over,
Yep.
and then hit the plus 1 time, and that's going to spread it out. And then on the highest speed setting, which is speed setting 6, we're going to start breaking this down until it goes clear. Just like last time, it's going to go clear, and that's
Okay.
how we can check our work. But we want to make sure that we're constantly moving. The arm speed is about 1 inch per second, meaning that you're going to be moving about this fast, maybe a little slower.
Okay.
And then using a cross-hatching pattern so that we go over and we're not leaving any kind of hazing or any kind of buffer trails. This way we can get the best gloss and the most depth out of it.
Perfect.
But you basically keep that machine moving and also flat at all times, because if it digs in, that'll stall the pad and it's not going to be cutting anymore. But again, like you were showing with the amount of pressure,
Yeah.
just about the weight of the machine and a little bit more, so your hand and just a little bit more, you'll hear the tone change slightly. That's perfect as long as the pad is still moving. And also a old trick that I learned from a body shop guy is to keep, say, your tools straight, is if you put your thumb basically along the spine of it. This way it'll kind of keep you from rocking it side to side.
Ooh,
So that'll
okay.
keep it from digging in a little bit.
Cool. Great tips all around. So we're going to
Ready?
put that onto the lowest speed setting to just spread it out quickly. Then you're going to
Yeah, just click it one
crank
time.
it up.
On the plus.
Cool, now you can just shut this off. And we'll take a look here. As you can see, it looks like Dave could definitely put a little bit more pressure on his
more pressure?
Yeah, it's a little more
pad
pressure.
here.
You can also spread it out a little farther. That'll help break down the polish. Because
Okay.
you want to get some heat in there, but
Yeah.
not too much.
These are very nice little snake lines, I call them. They look really cool. And
Like a roll of
looks
quarters.
good, right? But you can see that Nick over on his side, he worked this thing in completely, so it went pretty much clear by the time he was done with it. And you could tell by his pad, it was pressed down, it was compressed a little bit more. He was putting a bit more pressure on it. So don't be afraid, you know, as newbies, we are afraid because we love our cars tremendously. We don't want to ruin them further. So it is a little stressful when you're trying to do this the first time, but you can really push down a little bit on there, just to
Yeah.
the point like Nick was saying, until it kind of, you'll hear an
You'll feel it,
auditory.
you'll hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, now you can take your microfiber workhorse towel and basically wipe that off. All the excess there.
There's a lot of excess.
And you can already see that you definitely, you know, got rid of some of those scratches. Still a few
100%.
left. You know, we could have probably done a little bit more heat on that section, but look at the shine compared to before, right?
Oh, 100%. 1000%.
Awesome. So that's how we do it, folks. And to save time, we're gonna do the whole car. So I'm just gonna throw this whole video on a time lapse. I'm gonna jump in there and help these guys as well, so we can get this done very quickly. Get Snook on his way back on the road looking shiny and new. So we'll put the time lapse up, we'll put some music up, maybe I'll throw some special slow motion montages up for you as well.
There you go.
And then at the end, we'll show you the results.
Yeah, I can drive it all the way back to Boston. I'll be good to go.
Perfect.
Cross country.
Cool. Be back with you in a minute. All right, guys, so as we close out the video here, we had a bunch of people helping out. Joey popped by. Look at this. Just look at the depth compared to what it was before here. This is the after, right? And here's the before. And back to the after. Look at that, guys.
You know what I say, Carl? You know what I say? I said, look at that.
I say, look at that.
Would you look at that?
So that looks great now. I mean, obviously, Nick, this needs a lot more work than we were able to do today, right? But
Right, so you could go through a multi-step paint correction, but the thing is, like we mentioned in our live video, is that your clear coat doesn't regenerate. So by polishing it, you're removing a very fine layer of that. And since this car is going to be outside a lot, we don't want to remove a lot of that material. So we could go chasing down a lot of these deeper scratches and swirls, but I think with the one step being V36, we did an amazing job and also brought a lot of that depth back.
Yeah, it's not so it's not swirly anymore. Oh, so swirly.
so swirly. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously some way deeper things that, you know, we couldn't take care of, like these little etch marks here. I don't know if that, I don't even think that's showing up on camera, to be honest. So,
They're deep, like you need a therapy session, but we'll get through it, right?
that's right. So yeah, guys, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. And how many of you guys want Snook to come back and do a ceramic coat? We run out of time today, but
I
he
need a guy.
So one thing you can do, Snook, is I see you already have the blue pad there.
Yes.
He's got a little bit of black light on here. which he's using the machine and a blue pad to just spread it out for him instead of just doing it by hand, which you could do it both ways. But essentially the black light is a glaze that's just going to fill in a lot of those micro scratches and swirls and really enhance the depth even further and add a slight layer of protection as well, right, Nick?
That's right. So it's a basic glaze and sealant combination. So you're getting protection and that depth. It's like makeup for your car.
Yeah. So it'll protect your clear coat a little bit with that. We still do recommend actually doing a ceramic, but for now, it's a quick and easy way to do it without having to worry about cure times or anything like that. So
it can also be layered with your favorite sealant and wax for added protection and gloss.
Exactly.
That's fun.
Cool. So if you guys liked any of the products you saw today, head over to chemicalguys.com or stop by your local detail garage. If you don't know where that is, just go to chemicalguys.com and hit the store locator button in the top left corner of the screen. And who knows, maybe there's one right near you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.